Good afternoon. It's Alan Harris here, Emergency Manager for Seminole County, giving our Facebook Live update on May the 12th, here from the EOC. I want to thank all of y'all for joining us today. I want to give you a little update on our response to COVID-19. We currently in Seminole County have, since the beginning of the event, 419 positive cases of COVID-19 in our community. We have 360 of those individuals have recovered. That is a new number that the Department of Health has been able to provide to us. So we are now providing that on our dashboard. We launched the dashboard about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago, and have gotten some pretty good reviews. So if you haven't been on the dashboard, we'd love for you to take a look at it and see what you think. You can go to prepareseminole.org and click the little link on the top on the COVID-19 page, and it will bring up a dashboard of lots of different types of data from our community. Currently, we have 11,739 individuals that we have received tests back from. That is not the total number of individuals that have been tested. We are still waiting for test results from some labs, but of the results that have come back, 11,739 have come back to our community. Of those, 3.79% of the individuals that have been tested have come back positive. Now that number, of course, has gone down over the last couple of weeks, and of course that is because we are testing everyone. So if you feel wonderful today and you want to go out and throw a frisbee and play with a dog and go for a run, you can get tested just like every other person. Now, when we were testing individuals that did feel sick, we were running about 10%. So obviously, the percentage was going to go down. We anticipated that the percentage just goes down. Do we want those people to be tested? Absolutely. That's why we made it open for everybody to get tested. Why do we want that? Because there are individuals in our community that may be asymptomatic. Those individuals may have individuals at home that are seniors, have underlying medical conditions. We want to take care of those individuals. So it's important for us to get the data. It's important for us to know how many individuals out in our community are positive, how many individuals are negative, so that we can start to provide that data as we continue our reopening plan. Currently, there are 6 people hospitalized. That's up a couple from when we talked last week. We were hovering around 15 individuals average. We are now at 6 with positive COVID-19 in the hospital. So that is up just a tiny bit from a couple days ago, but still down from a few weeks ago. And then right now we have 11 deaths in our community. Very sad for the family and friends of those individuals. Many of those individuals we've talked to here in the EOC, as we call individuals that are confirmed positive each and every day, to check on them, make sure that they're okay. And unfortunately, we've seen a few of those pass. Those individuals that we've talked to have passed away. So very, very sad for their friends and their family. Some of those were mothers, and Mother's Day, of course, just passed, so very difficult for the friends and families there. Testing does continue here in Seminole County. Individuals can sign up for the testing at Allied Health. Of course, Allied Health was moved from Altamont Mall to Seminole State College, so you can certainly go to that through Thursday. We were going to go to Friday, but it looks like, believe it or not, there is a system down near the Bahamas. This is not, hopefully, knock on wood, not going to be a hurricane, but it will be. It looks like it's maybe a subtropical type of system. What does that mean to us? That means rain for us. That's not a bad thing. But it means rain pretty heavy maybe on Friday, and we didn't want the drive-through site to get soaked and people to be miserable. So Friday, we're canceling the drive-through site. Don't worry about the subtropical system. You definitely monitor weather throughout the weekend. The rain will do us well. We have been pretty dry. We're even close to a burn ban at this point, but if we get some good rain, maybe that'll pull us away from that. We won't have to issue the burn ban. You can, again, though, the Allied site at Seminole State College is open again through Thursday. You can register at prepareseminole.org or by calling 407-665-0000. We also have a test site that hopefully will go on Saturday. We're assessing it to see the weather. Hopefully this subtropical system will move through on Friday and be clear of us on Saturday. But if it does hit us on Saturday, then we will have to adjust. But right now, the testing site for Saturday is at the Iglesia Presbyterian Church in Oviedo on Red Bug Lake Road, and you can get that by going to prepareseminole.org. There's also we have planned out Saturdays for the next few weeks. So we will be on that following Saturday, we will be at the St. Mary Magdalene Church. And the Saturday after that, we'll be at the Iglesia Cristiano Church on Dog Track Road in Longwood. Antibody testing continues here in the Central Florida area, and the Orange County Convention Center is offering antibody testing for first responders and healthcare professionals. We are doing 80 tests a day at the Orange County Convention Center. And also the antibody testing is taking place in the county, and you can get tested at the Urgent Care of Longwood, Stages of Life Medical Institute, LabCorp and Quest. And for those LabCorp and Quest, you would need to get a prescription. You can get a prescription from your primary physician, or you can get a prescription from LabCorp or Quest. We are changing the Citizens Information Hotline telephone number. Not telephone number, hours of operation. So we are going to change the Citizens Information line to Monday through Saturday from 8 to 5. We're going to give these individuals the Sunday off, but they are going to operate Monday through Saturday from 8 to 5. They've been going 7 days a week for quite a few weeks now, almost 2 months. So we wanted to give them Sundays off. Sundays tended to be a lighter call day. So we will still, of course, be here Monday through Saturday. And of course, the EOC, Emergency Operations Center, will be active while we have individuals that are isolating and quarantined in their home. I see a few people, so I'm going to say hello. I'm going to say hey to Barbie, say hey to Marie. Maddie, how are you doing today? Ruth, good to see you. Karen, nice to see you. Tina, Rita, good to see you. Veronica, Ed, great to see you all. Rich, Rich, how many have recovered? You probably already know that. Yeah. How many have recovered? If you go to the Prepare Seminole website, we put that on the dashboard. So if you, but right now it's 360, just so you know, just to answer your question real quick. But you can go to the Prepare Seminole website and get that number, and that number is updated all the time. Although the recovered number hasn't changed for a few days, but it is 360 still. Veronica asked, if you test for antibodies and get a positive result, do you have to quarantine? No. So antibody testing is for individuals that have had COVID-19 in the past. So the antibody testing may help, and there's a lot of research out there. So what does it mean for sure? Well, we don't know. But it may mean that you have some type of resistance to COVID-19. But we don't know that for a fact. So you can certainly get the antibody testing. A few folks in here have said that they want to get antibody testing when we open it up here in Seminole County, just to find out if that thing that they had in January or February happened to be COVID-19. Some of the individuals had a flu-type symptoms, cough and fever and stuff like that, but it wasn't the flu. They went to the doctor and it wasn't the flu. So they're interested to find out, was it COVID-19? And you can go to the antibody, or you can get antibody testing to find that out. Let's see. Hillary asks, do big box stores need to count customers for occupancy? Yes, Hillary. So they are at 50% of their fire code. So the 50% of the fire code for any of the facilities that would have been what the governor considered essential services. So that would have been like the hardware stores, the grocery stores, and things like that. So 50% of the occupancy. I hope the management and individuals are doing that. We're opening up everything, and it's good. It's a good thing. Where businesses are starting to open. But that doesn't mean that the virus obviously went away, right? Everybody knows that the virus was, well, most everybody knows that the virus was real. There are a couple naysayers out there that don't believe it at all, that believe it was all a hoax and stuff like that. But you're probably not watching this Facebook Live if you thought that. But there are a few of those folks. There are a few of the folks that don't want to wear any PPE. They want to get in large group gatherings. They want to and it's all a matter of risk, right? So you all will have to determine what the risk is, and then how to best manage that risk. And we've tried to lay out some easy things to do based on medical doctors' opinions related to pandemics, specifically, of course, the information coming out of the CDC, the World Health Organization, and the White House medical team. So we've tried to provide a good blueprint, if you will, for how to do things safely by social distancing, keeping away from others, 6 feet, wearing face masks or coverings if you have to be in very, very close proximity with individuals, things like that. So hopefully people are following that, but they aren't in some areas, and I'll tell you, last week I went into a store, no one had a face mask on, no one had a covering, and you're going to have to make the decision that I made, and that is, do I continue to step into the store or do I just turn around? And I made the decision, of course. I'm turning around. I'm not going to that store. Probably won't go to that store for a couple months, but we'll see what happens, because there's other places that sell what that store was selling. So everybody's going to have to make their own decision about that, and protect their family. My risk factor is going to be different than your risk factor. My risk factor is based on individuals that live with me, people with underlying medical conditions and things like that. You may not have that. So, I tried to explain to someone that was calling me on the phone, well, why are you doing some of the things that y'all are doing and putting that, why are the playgrounds not up? And I said, I tell you, the families that don't have any children are going to act different. Young couple that's going to, no underlying medical conditions, no children, is going to act very different than the family, the parents of the asthmatic child. They're going to do things a little bit differently because the risk factor is going to be different for them. But we all need to be as careful as others, and we need to be respectful of other folks too. And I try to be respectful of other people. So let's see, PPE for businesses. So there's been some questions about, well, are y'all providing PPE, personal protective equipment, to all the businesses? Orange County received a $254 million CARES Act grant because they have a population of over 500,000 people. Unfortunately, Seminole County only has about 470,000 people, so we did not receive that grant. And therefore, $254 million did not come to our county. And therefore, what we did is we provided information on how to get PPE, where businesses can go to get personal protective equipment. But unfortunately, we did not have the funding to provide business, over 222,000 businesses PPE. So economic development did come up with a list, and that list is on our website. Shannon asked, why is there such a hot spot over 434 and 436? So, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. What we do, though, is we look at the number of individuals that are positive with COVID-19. They're plotted on a map, and then we do a heat map on top of that. So that means that there's been more of a concentration of positive cases in that area than other places. Why that is occurring, I do not know, but it is occurring. That is just simply data points put on a map. And of course, we can't show each point because each point is a person, and that would be against their medical rights to display each individual point. So we, from that, extract a heat map. So that's where most of the individuals that have been COVID-19 positive, currently COVID-19 positive, are residing. Does that mean that, I'm looking at the heat map right now, does that mean in Geneva you are good to go and no problems whatsoever? Well, there may be one individual out there. So yeah, I mean, it's less risk certainly, but there is certainly a risk no matter where you live, because COVID-19 has been in each county. So that's. Oh, and Michelle asked that question too about the PPE. So hopefully that answered that question. Mindy asked, did Barr Street Trail open? So all of our trails are open. So all of our parks and trails are open. The playgrounds are not. The basketball courts are not. But certainly the trails are open, and the parks are open. And I had a call earlier from a parent that's wanted to know, well, when are the playgrounds going to open? And at this point, we don't know. It's really hard to social distance in a playground. The cleaning supplies that we would need to continually clean a playground over and over and over again is pretty high, and it's hard for us to get the cleaning materials at this point, even for the assisted living facilities, nursing homes, and hospitals. So that's just. I mean, we have made a decision that we're just not opening the playgrounds at this time, but it's just not safe. But there's plenty of things to do in the open parks that we have. You can play Frisbee, you can play badminton, croquet, if anyone ever does that. My family used to do that when I was a kid. There's lots of other activities that kids can enjoy in a park other than a playground. So in fact, we're going to put something out. Did we put that out yet? We haven't put that out, but we want to hear from you. Actually, I'm going to ask you right now. We're just going to do it here on Facebook Live. Tell me what you do at a park when you're not at a playground. What do you do? Do you play Frisbee? Do you play croquet? Does anyone even play croquet anymore? I don't even know if anyone plays that. What my family used to do. Anyone have a croquet set out there? It'd be interesting to find out. I think someone did just pop up that said they had a croquet set, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, so let me get some more questions. Brittany asked, why can't venues open if they're large enough to accommodate social distancing? Well, I don't know that any places, except for what's in the executive order from the state of Florida, can't open. So the only things that we know of that can't open from the state of Florida are gyms, and we've even asked the governor when that's going to change. The massage therapy and I think it was tattoo artists or something like that. Other than that, we don't know of many places that have to remain closed at this particular point. If you have a question about a specific type of business, you can call our Citizens Information Line. We can certainly look up that business and see if there are any state orders or rules that would limit you doing that. But other than those businesses that have been spelled out specifically in the executive order, then that's the state's executive order, not Seminole County's. But the state's executive order, now I don't know of any at this point. Bryce, thanks. Bryce asked, it's been a week since test, no results yet. Can I call? Yes. So give us a call at the Citizens Hotline. We need to know where you got the test from so that we can call the lab. So call 407-665-0000, Bryce. And we need to find that out from you so that we can send that over to the lab and get that result expedited for you. Mindy says, is the county only testing residents or anyone? Mindy, if you live in Orange County or Osceola or Lake, well, probably not Osceola, that'd be a long drive. But if you live in Lake and Volusia County or Orange County and you're listening to me, yes, you can come to Seminole State College and get a test. You are welcome here at Seminole County anytime. So come on over, get a test. Please make a reservation. But you certainly get a test here in Seminole County. Beatrice asked, are the movie theaters open? Okay, yeah, so movie theaters, thank you. Movie theaters were one of those that was on his executive order that needed to remain closed. Ruth asked, can photographers operate? Absolutely. Go take some pictures and things like that. Just remember our social distancing. So in our executive order, it talks about close proximity. So in close proximity, that would be like a hair salon. That would be a massage therapist when it opens up. That would be a tattoo artist. That would be automobile sales only when you're doing the car test drive, because you'd have to be within 6 feet of each other. And then, of course, if you're doing photography, when you're setting the people up and stuff for the photo. But when you get back, you can, but you're not, obviously the breathing on the individuals is what's, what the doctors are talking about. Priscilla asked, where can I get some masks? You can go on our website, and we have a whole list of businesses that have face coverings and face masks that you can get there. Linda asked about the photography studios as well. No problems at all with the photography studios that we've been able to find. Dawn asked, when is the lockdown order over? So this is an interesting question. I've heard this a couple times. Even the governor's order never said you have to stay in your house, except for 65 and older, and except for those with underlying conditions. That's the only time it said shall stay in your home. So, Seminole County, since day one, and we continue to say, our trails are open, our parks are open. You can certainly go outside. So, be careful if you're in public areas. Consider wearing a face mask or covering. So Rob asks, why are gym closed but salons open? Rob, I have no idea. And I want my gym to open, and I'm going to do some hand cleaning. I'm going to wear my face coverings and masks and things like that. I am ready to go back to the gym. I love my gym. I love the camaraderie of my friends at the gym. But that is a state order. That is not a Seminole County order. So I will say some of the smaller gyms have been doing classes like in the parks, again, social distancing. And we've been working very closely with them, and that is okay. They've been doing 6 foot apart from each other and less of groups than 10. If your gym does that, I think that's great. Unfortunately, I am getting late here, so I am going to have to run. But Seminole County Public Schools has a Facebook Live at 12:30, so feel free to tune in to them. Dottie asked, how long do tests normally take? And it just depends on the lab. So some labs can turn things around about 48 to 72 hours, and then some it's up to almost 4 or 5 days. So it just depends on the lab. So we would need to know where you got the test to find out that. What are Capellan is, I think, ask about the churches. So places of assembly, all places of assembly. That includes convention halls, churches, synagogues, the community centers, things like that. 50% occupancy based on the fire code. Candy asks, why are we reopening the state when the virus is still prevalent? Candy, I'll end with that one. But we are all going to have, there's obviously some businesses that are reopening. And we're balancing an economic crisis with a pandemic crisis. So we're going to all have to make a decision about what is good for our family, what is worth the risk. And as I mentioned, everybody's going to be slightly different. I am going to be different than you. I'm going to be different than my neighbor. I'll just tell y'all, I had open heart surgery in 2013. So I'm telling all of Seminole County this. And so I have an underlying medical condition. So I am going to be a little bit safer than other people. So other people want to get in large gatherings and don't want to wear face masks and things like that. That's not something I'm going to do. I'm going to go into a store, look around. If there's not people wearing masks, I'm turning around, I'm leaving. And that's you're going to have to make that decision for your family. And some people, I think, are going to, make those decisions. And then some, that don't have anyone they know that's elderly, they don't live with anyone, they believe that it's, that it's worth the risk. They're going to have to make that decision. And, I think that hopefully, and I've seen when I go to the grocery store, most people are wearing masks to be nice to each other. And I hope that that people will do that, to protect the others. I try to be a good steward of my community. And if it's not to protect myself, it's going to protect my neighbor. So anyways, I just found out that the school is actually not going to do a Facebook Live today, but Superintendent Griffin is going to be on our press conference at 2:00 on Thursday. So is Chris Anderson. So it'll be a good press conference to watch. It'll be about elections and it'll be about the schools. So Thursday at 2, we'll have it here on Facebook Live. We'll be streaming it on Facebook Live for you. We may be at a site, so we may not be able to do it on SGTV Live, but we will video it and then we will replay it on SGTV. So I will be back on Friday, and I want to wish y'all a very happy and safe week. Y'all stay safe, and we'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.